So, I spent the last 2 weeks learning a metric ton of stuff. Here's how it went down. I'm back, and there's a lot to cover in this video, but before we get into it, let me catch you up to speed. I released CubeRun 2 weeks ago, then I decided to create a multiplayer game. Not a smart move. I learnt photon networking, didn't like it. I learnt mirror networking, liked it. Realized that syncing physics over network is hard, gave up. Learnt Blender and said f it, time to make a 3D game. Alright, here's the idea. You have legs, a gun, a health bar, and your ultimate goal is to get to the end of each level. But wait, there's more. The more you run, the more health you deplete.
Dash, that's pretty counterintuitive, don't you?
I wasn't done. To get your health back, you have to shoot targets along the way. But wait, there's more. There are enemies, lamps, lights, swinging lights, and so much more planned. It's going to be epic! Or really bad. We'll see. I present to you the beginning of The More You Run. To start this journey off, I created a new 3D Unity project. I then slapped together a quick main menu scene and got straight into creating the base mechanics for the game. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, so I'll only touch on the main things I did to make the player movement. I created a new capture object. Let's call him Bob. Bob now has a rigid body and a simple movement script. He also has a camera strapped to his face. I then decided that I didn't want to use rigid body based movement. Sorry Bob, this is Jeff. I gave him the built-in player control script and made my own movement script. Whoop-pow! Jeff can now move, look around and jump. Now, Jeff is missing something. A gun. So I gave Jeff a gun that I modeled. I created running, reloading and shooting animations for the gun. Then I imported the Unity example particle package. With that, I created a muzzle flash effect. Now the gun looks like it shoots, but what good is a gun that doesn't actually shoot? So I decided to use raycasting to shoot bullets. What's raycasting? Well, I'm glad you asked. On today's episode of Learning Game Development with Dash, I'll teach you the basics about using raycast to simulate shooting things in 10 seconds or less. Here we go. Jeff go pew pew. Invisible beam comes out of the gun. Beam goes to where the crosshair's pointing. It gets information about what was hit. You can now do stuff with that information. Wow, thanks Dash. Now, whenever you shoot, there's a bullet impact effect and the information about that target is readily available. Alright, so the basics are set in place. Now it's time to add a bit of oomph to the game. So, using the Unity UI system, I made a simple health bar and wrote up a script that depletes the player's health as Jeff moves. And once you run out of health, you can't move anymore. Jeff's gun is a Glock. And last time I checked, Glocks don't have unlimited ammo, or an absolutely scuffed fire rate. So I modified the fire rate of the gun and created an ammo count that is now visible to the player. Then I quickly added some post-processing effects. Next, I decided that it's time to delete Jeff and model a new character in Blender. This is John. John doesn't have fingers, and if I want him to hold a gun, I'm probably going to have to make him some fingers. So I created a separate model and made him some fingers. Yay, fingies! After a bit of posing and animation, John was ready. Oh yeah, I never actually attached the new model to his old model. Oh well. I then modified the reloading and shooting animation to better suit the fact that John has arms. What good is a game without enemies? The answer is not good. So I copied and pasted another version of John, slapped some red on him, and called him John the baddest bitch of the East. Then I realized that's gonna suck to say over and over, so let's call him JTBBOTE? Okay, he's called Bad Boy, and Bad Boy don't like John. So he makes it his mission to chase you. That's why I added some idle, walking, and running animations to Bad Boy. I then created a blend tree using the Unity animator and made some code that detects the player and blends the animations to make Bad Boy really f***ing scary. Once that was done, I made some ragdoll physics for him and made it so that whenever you shoot Bad Boy, he straight up flops. Now, remember how I said you had to shoot targets to get your health back? Yeah, well, what if those targets were lights? I present to you the lamp, the hanging light, and the wall light. Now that the lights have been modeled and implemented into the game, it's time to add some glass shatter sound effects to them. Phew, what a crazy time to be alive, hey Bad Boy. That's all I've done on The More You Run so far. Now, some of the game's features were actually some of your ideas. So if you want to see something added to the game, feel free to drop any ideas, suggestions, or feedback in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and a comment, and if you're new around here, chuck us a sub to be a mad lad. Other than that, have a great week guys, and I'll see you in the next video.